Hey everyone, welcome back to VTA Garden Tips. What if I told you that some of the most powerful medicine on earth is growing wild right now? In ditches, in abandoned lots, and maybe even in your own backyard. Plants our grandparents knew by heart. Plants that healed people long before hospitals existed. While today we rush to the drugstore for every cut, cough, and ache, humans have relied on these plants for thousands of years, and many of them are backed by real science. In this video, I will show you 20 forgotten medicinal plants. Plants that support healing naturally. Plants that helped soldiers survive battlefields. And plants that may completely change how you think about health. Stay with me until the end, because some of the most powerful ones are still growing unnoticed. Let's begin. Part 1. Calendula. Let's start with a flower that followed soldiers into war. Calendula, also known as pot marigold. Medieval soldiers carried calendula flowers into battle. They called it the war flower. When there were no antibiotics, no sterile tools, no doctors nearby, calendula helped wounds heal clean and prevented deadly infections. Calendula officinalis grows easily in gardens, bright orange and yellow flowers from spring until frost. But these flowers are not just beautiful, they are medicinal powerhouses. Modern clinical studies confirm this. Calendula extracts speed up wound healing, burns, cuts, surgical wounds. The flowers contain triterpenoids and flavonoids. These compounds reduce inflammation and fight microbes. You can make a simple calendula salve. Infuse dried flowers in oil. Use it on cuts, scrapes, and irritated skin. Calendula did not disappear because it stopped working. It disappeared because you cannot patent a flower. But it is still here, growing quietly, waiting in gardens everywhere. Part 2. Sea buckthorn. Now let's move to a plant that thrives where almost nothing else survives. Sea buckthorn, a spiny shrub with bright orange berries. For centuries, it has been used in Tibetan, Russian, and Chinese medicine, especially for healing skin and mucous membranes. This plant did not become famous because it was gentle. It became famous because it worked. In fact, Russian cosmonauts used sea buckthorn oil in space to protect their skin from radiation damage. Modern research later confirmed why. Sea buckthorn berries are packed with vitamins, antioxidants, omega fatty acids, including a rare one called omega-7. This fatty acid supports mucous membranes throughout the body: skin, eyes, mouth, digestive tract. Clinical studies show real results: improved skin barrier function, faster wound healing, relief for dry eyes and inflamed tissue, even vaginal dryness after menopause. This is not cosmetic care. This is deep tissue healing. Sea buckthorn grows in harsh climates: the Himalayas, Siberia, high mountain regions. That is why it disappeared from Western medicine, not because it failed, but because it was far away. For anyone struggling with dry, inflamed skin, sea buckthorn heals from the inside out, like an internal repair system, hidden inside a berry. Part 3. Comfrey. Now we come to one of the most legendary healing plants ever known, comfrey. Its old folk name says everything: bone knitter. For centuries, people believed this plant could help the body knit itself back together. broken bones, sprains, bruises, torn tissue. They were not imagining it. Modern science proved they were right. Comfrey contains a compound called allantoin. This compound stimulates cell growth. It tells your body to repair damaged tissue faster. Clinical studies show that comfrey root extract reduces pain, improves movement, and speeds healing in sprains and back pain, even osteoarthritis. These are peer-reviewed studies, real data. But there is an important rule. Comfrey is for external use only, never internal use. The plant contains compounds that can stress the liver if taken inside. Used on the skin, it is remarkably effective and safe, as a salve, as a cream, as a compress. Traditional use was simple. Dry the root, infuse it in oil, apply it to injuries. Comfrey fell out of favor as modern medicine focused on X-rays and casts, but for soft tissue injuries, it is still one of nature's fastest healers. Think of comfrey as the plant that reminds your body how to heal itself. Part 4, Mullein. Now let's talk about a plant your lungs remember, even if your mind does not. Mullein, that tall plant with fuzzy leaves and a spike of yellow flowers. You have seen it before, growing in vacant lots, along roadsides, in forgotten places. For hundreds of years, mullein was the lung herb. Coughs, bronchitis, chest congestion, asthma. Herbalists called it the lung's best friend. The secret is in the leaves. They contain compounds called saponins, natural expectorants. They help your body loosen thick mucus so you can cough it out instead of trapping it in your chest. Modern reviews confirm this. Mullein reduces inflammation in the respiratory tract and supports antimicrobial defense. Traditional use was simple. Dry the leaves, make a gentle tea. Strain it carefully. Those tiny hairs must be removed. Then drink it slowly. The flowers had another use, infused in oil for ear discomfort and irritation. Mullein faded from modern medicine because cough syrups arrived. They quiet the cough, but do not always clear the lungs. Mullein does not silence your lungs, it helps them clean themselves. Think of mullein as a gentle maintenance crew, working quietly inside your chest. Part 5, Plantain weed. Now we come to a plant that almost everyone ignores. Plantain weed, not the banana plant. This one grows low to the ground. You see it in lawns, on trails, in cracks of sidewalks. Native Americans had a name for it. They called it the white man's footprint because it followed people everywhere they walked. But they quickly learned something important. This humble plant was powerful medicine, especially for wounds, cuts, burns, insect bites, stings. Plantain is one of the most reliable first aid plants on earth. Modern studies confirm this. Plantain has wound healing effects, anti-inflammatory properties, and antimicrobial action. It helps stop minor bleeding, reduces swelling, and calms pain quickly. Traditional use was simple. Take a fresh leaf, crush it, or chew it briefly to break the fibers. Then place it directly on the wound. Within minutes, pain and swelling often decrease. Plantain also works as a wash. A strong tea can clean wounds or soothe irritated skin. Plantain was forgotten for one main reason. It is common, it is everywhere. We were taught that medicine should be rare and expensive, not growing at our feet. Think of plantain as an emergency room that follows you everywhere, quietly waiting for the moment you need it. Part 6, Yarrow. Now we meet a plant that has saved lives on battlefields. Yarrow, known for centuries as the soldier's herb. When blood was flowing, when there was no medic nearby, soldiers reached for yarrow. They carried it dried or used it fresh to stop bleeding fast. And it worked. Yarrow is a powerful hemostatic. That means it helps stop bleeding quickly. Modern studies confirm this effect. Yarrow shortens bleeding time and supports wound healing. But yarrow does more than that. It is also anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial. This combination is rare. Most plants do one job. Yarrow does several. Traditional use was straightforward. Crush the fresh leaves, apply them directly to a cut. Bleeding often slows within minutes. Yarrow can also be used as tea for fever, digestive discomfort, and mild inflammation. The entire above-ground plant is medicinal. Yarrow grows everywhere, fields, roadsides, meadows. It was forgotten as antiseptics became common, but in emergencies, knowing yarrow can matter. Think of yarrow as a field medic, growing quietly wherever humans walk. Part 7. Self-heal. Now we meet a plant with one of the boldest names in herbal medicine. Self-heal, also known as heal all. Our ancestors did not choose that name lightly. They trusted this plant deeply. For wounds, for sore throats, for inflamed tissue. Self-heal grows low to the ground, in lawns, in meadows, quietly under our feet. For centuries, people used it for almost everything. Cuts and scrapes, mouth sores, sore throats and swollen glands. Modern research is now catching up. Self-heal has real anti-inflammatory effects and supports wound healing. What makes it special is how it works on mucous membranes, the mouth, the throat, soft internal tissue. Studies show it can disrupt bacterial biofilms, those protective layers that make infections harder to treat. Traditional use was gentle, a strong tea used as a gargle or applied to the skin. For sore throats, relief often came quickly, sometimes within hours. The entire plant is medicinal. Leaves, stems, flowers. Self-heal was forgotten for a simple reason. It was too common, too ordinary. But healing does not need to be dramatic. Sometimes the quiet plants do the deepest work. Part 8. Agrimony. Now we turn to a plant medieval healers truly loved. Agrimony, especially for the mouth and throat. Before throat sprays existed, before lozenges and antibiotics, people reached for agrimony. This plant grows tall with small yellow flowers along meadows and woodland edges. Agrimony contains tannins, natural astringent compounds. They gently tighten inflamed tissue. That is why agrimony soothes sore throats, mouth inflammation, and irritated gums. Traditional herbalists used it as a gargle several times a day, especially for pharyngitis and tonsil irritation. Agrimony also works deeper in the digestive system. It was used for mild diarrhea and gut irritation. The same tannins help tone the gut lining and reduce excess fluid. The traditional preparation was simple. Dry the aerial parts, make a strong tea, use it warm, gargle slowly, or sip gently. Agrimony disappeared quietly as stronger drugs took over. But gentle healing still has value. Think of agrimony as a calm voice, soothing irritation, instead of fighting it. Part 9. White Horehound. Before there were cough drops, there was white horehound. For generations, this plant was one of the most trusted remedies for coughs and chest congestion, so effective that people turned it into candy and lozenges sold in pharmacies and general stores well into the early 1900s. White horehound works differently than modern cough suppressants. Instead of stopping your cough, it helps make the cough productive, allowing your lungs to clear thick mucus instead of trapping it inside. That is real healing, not just symptom control. The plant contains a compound called merubian, which stimulates bronchial secretions and helps loosen congestion. Herbal medicine has long described horehound as a classic expectorant, especially for stubborn, wet coughs and bronchitis. White horehound grows as a hardy perennial with fuzzy gray-green leaves and small white flowers. It thrives in dry soil, roadsides, and neglected garden corners. The entire above-ground part of the plant is used and traditionally harvested when flowering. People commonly made a strong tea sweetened with honey or cooked the tea down into horehound candy. The taste is bitter, very bitter, but that bitterness is part of what makes it work. Bitter herbs stimulate the body and support deeper respiratory clearing. Modern cough syrups often quiet the reflex without helping the lungs heal. White horehound supports the lungs in doing what they are designed to do: clear irritation and move congestion out. Think of white horehound as the cough drop that actually wants you to get better, not just quieter. Part 10. Boneset. Now we enter the territory of serious medicine. Boneset was one of the most respected flu remedies of the 19th century, so trusted that nearly every household kept it dried and ready for the moment fever and deep body aches appeared. The name Boneset comes from an old description of flu symptoms once called break bone fever, when the pain felt like bones were splitting apart. Boneset became famous because it seemed to stop that pain and help the body fight back. During major influenza outbreaks, people made hot Boneset tea at the very first sign of illness: fever, chills, exhaustion, deep aching muscles. The goal was not to suppress the fever, but to support the body's immune response and help it work more effectively. Traditional herbalists described Boneset as a fever reducer and immune stimulant. While large modern clinical trials are limited, historical and ethnobotanical records consistently describe its effectiveness during flu epidemics. Boneset grows in wet meadows and along streams, producing flat clusters of small white flowers in late summer. The entire above-ground part of the plant is harvested when flowering and dried for tea. The tea is extremely bitter. Many people say it is one of the most bitter herbal teas they have ever tasted. But that bitterness was considered part of its power, a signal that the plant was doing real work inside the body. Boneset fell out of use as vaccines and antiviral medications became common. But for general flu-like illnesses that still circulate every year, Boneset remains one of the most powerful traditional remedies ever recorded. Think of Boneset as the plant that helps your body fight the flu, not by replacing it, but by strengthening it from the inside. Part 11. Blue vervain. Now we shift from infections and fevers to something many of us struggle with every day: stress, tension, and a nervous system that never truly gets to rest. This is where blue vervain comes in. Blue vervain has long been known as a nervine, a plant that supports and calms the nervous system without knocking you out or dulling your mind. Traditional herbalists described it as especially helpful for people who are wound too tight, overthinking, tense, and unable to relax. For centuries, blue vervain was used for nervous exhaustion, headaches from tension, irritability, and difficulty sleeping caused by mental strain rather than physical fatigue. It was not meant to sedate, but to gently bring balance back. Modern herbal research and some animal studies suggest that blue vervain has genuine calming effects on the nervous system, helping reduce anxiety and nervous tension without the side effects common in pharmaceutical options. Blue vervain grows wild in wet meadows, ditches, and along streams, producing tall spikes of small purple-blue flowers. The entire above-ground part of the plant is used and traditionally harvested when flowering. The taste is bitter, and because of that, it is often combined with other herbs or sweetened with honey. That bitterness was traditionally associated with its grounding effect on the nervous system. People commonly drank blue vervain tea in the evening to unwind after long days of stress or during the day for ongoing nervous tension. It does not force sleep. It simply helps your system remember how to relax. Think of blue vervain as the calm hand on your shoulder, reminding your nervous system that it is safe to slow down. Part 12. Elecampane. Now we move into deep lung medicine. Elecampane was the herb traditional healers reached for when coughs were not just annoying, but stubborn, wet, and lingering for weeks or months. Elecampane does not work on the surface. It works slowly and deeply, helping lungs that feel heavy, congested, and exhausted after illness. This is the plant used when recovery needs patience. The root of elecampane contains compounds known as sesquiterpene lactones. These have antimicrobial and cough-calming effects, especially useful for chronic bronchitis, deep chest congestion, and lingering respiratory weakness. Traditional herbal texts describe elecampane as both an expectorant and a tonic. It helps move mucus out while also strengthening lung tissue over time, something quick-acting medicines rarely do. Elecampane grows as a tall perennial with large leaves and bright yellow flowers, often in meadows and old fields. The thick root is harvested in autumn, dried, and prepared as a long-simmered tea or tincture. The taste is warming, aromatic, and slightly bitter. It is not meant for instant relief. Instead, small, regular doses were taken over weeks to rebuild respiratory strength. Elecampane faded from common use when antibiotics became the primary treatment for lung infections. But antibiotics fight pathogens. Elecampane supports healing of the lung tissue itself. Think of elecampane as the plant that rebuilds the battlefield after the infection is gone. Part 13. Toothache plant. Now we arrive at one of the most surprising plants on this list. The toothache plant does exactly what its name promises, and it does it fast. Chew a fresh flower or leaf, and within seconds your mouth begins to tingle. Then it goes numb. Tongue, gums, lips, the sensation is impossible to ignore. This plant contains a compound called spilanthol, a natural local anesthetic. Traditional healers used it for toothaches, mouth ulcers, sore throats, and oral pain long before modern numbing gels existed. Modern research confirms what people felt instantly. Spilanthol has real analgesic and numbing effects, making this plant one of the fastest-acting herbal pain relievers known. The toothache plant grows as a small annual with bright yellow and red cone-shaped flowers that almost look playful, but its effect is serious. The flowers contain the strongest numbing action, though the leaves work as well. Traditional use was simple. At the first sign of tooth pain, a fresh flower was chewed and held against the sore area. Relief often came within moments and could last for half an hour or more. This plant does not cure the underlying dental problem, but it buys time. It reduces pain naturally while you address the cause. Think of the toothache plant as Part 14, Oregon grape. Now we move into chronic skin healing, where frustration is common and quick fixes often fail. Oregon grape is one of the few medicinal plants with solid clinical evidence for helping long-lasting inflammatory skin conditions. Despite its name, Oregon grape is not a grape. It is an evergreen shrub with glossy leaves, yellow flowers, and deep blue berries. What makes it powerful is not the fruit, but the bright yellow inner bark of the roots and stems. Oregon grape contains berberine and related compounds. These have well-documented antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory effects. Modern clinical studies show that topical Oregon grape preparations can significantly improve symptoms of psoriasis and atopic dermatitis. This matters because these conditions are not simple rashes. They are complex inflammatory disorders that resist many treatments. Oregon grape does not just cover symptoms, it addresses inflammation at the skin level. Traditional herbalists used Oregon grape both externally and internally, but modern use focuses mainly on topical applications for safety and effectiveness. Creams and salves made from the root extract are used consistently over weeks. The improvement is gradual, not instant. Redness softens, scaling reduces, skin barrier function improves. This slow change is a sign of real healing rather than temporary suppression. Oregon grape grows naturally in forest understories, especially in the Pacific Northwest. It was overlooked in Western medicine largely because it is regional, not because it is ineffective. Think of Oregon grape as the plant that modern dermatology quietly admits actually works. Part 15, Yellow Dock. Now we turn inward. Yellow Dock is not a fast-acting remedy. It is a plant for people who understand that long-term health often starts with digestion and liver function. Traditional herbalists once called yellow dock a blood purifier. What they really meant was that it helps the body process waste more efficiently, supporting the liver, digestion, and elimination pathways. The root of yellow dock contains bitter compounds and natural anthraquinones. These stimulate bile production, improve digestion, and gently encourage regular bowel movement without forcing the body. Because digestion and skin health are closely connected, yellow dock was often used for chronic skin issues that did not respond to topical treatments alone. As digestion improved, the skin often followed. Yellow dock grows as a tall, hardy plant with long leaves and reddish-brown seed heads. The deep taproot is harvested in autumn, dried, and used in small amounts as tea or tincture. The taste is bitter and astringent. That bitterness signals the digestive system to wake up, produce enzymes, and do its job more effectively. Yellow dock fell out of favor when laxatives and liver drugs became popular, but those often push the body hard. Yellow dock works gently, reminding the system how to function on its own. Think of yellow dock as the plant that does not do the work for you, but teaches your body how to do it again. Part 16, Usnea. Now we step beyond plants and into something even older. Usnea is not technically a plant, it is a lichen, a partnership between algae and fungi that grows hanging from trees like pale green hair. Because of this, people call it old man's beard. For centuries, Usnea was one of the most important wilderness medicines. When there was no access to doctors, no antiseptics, and no antibiotics, people relied on this lichen to prevent infection. Usnea contains compounds such as usnic acid. Modern research confirms that these compounds have strong antimicrobial activity, including effects against certain antibiotic-resistant bacteria. Traditional use was almost always external. Fresh Usnea was moistened and applied directly to wounds, or prepared as an alcohol extract to wash cuts and infections. This made it especially valuable for survival situations. A simple cut in the wilderness can become life-threatening without infection control. Usnea grows in relatively unpolluted forests and mountain regions. Its presence is often a sign of clean air. It grows slowly and should be harvested with respect. Only small amounts should be taken. Often fallen pieces are enough. Usnea faded from common use because it is not easy to standardize or mass produce. But in recent years, interest has returned as antibiotic resistance becomes a serious global concern. Think of Usnea as nature's reminder that antimicrobial medicine existed long before laboratories. Part 17. Barberry. This is the plant I hinted at earlier, one that has been used for more than 2,000 years and is now being taken seriously again by modern science. Barberry. Barberry is a thorny shrub with small red berries, but the real medicine is hidden beneath the surface. The bright yellow inner bark of the roots and stems contains a powerful compound called berberine. Berberine is one of the most studied plant compounds in modern research. It has documented antimicrobial effects against bacteria, fungi, and parasites, including strains that show resistance to antibiotics. Traditional healers across Persian, Ayurvedic, and Chinese medicine systems used barberry for digestive infections, diarrhea, liver support, and inflammatory conditions. They trusted it deeply because it worked. Modern studies now confirm many of these uses. Berberine has been shown to help with infectious diarrhea, support gut balance, reduce inflammation, and even improve blood sugar and cholesterol regulation. Barberry is intensely bitter. That bitterness is not a flaw. It is part of how it stimulates digestion and suppresses harmful microbes in the gut. The plant fell out of favor in the West as synthetic antibiotics became dominant. But as antibiotic resistance rises, berberine-containing plants like barberry are being re-examined with fresh respect. Think of barberry as ancient medicine becoming cutting edge again, not because it changed, but because we are finally catching up. Part 18. Red clover. After powerful antimicrobials, we return to something gentler. Red clover is a field medicine, a plant that quietly supports the body over time rather than forcing quick change. Red clover has been used for centuries for skin conditions, inflammation, and women's health. Because it is so common, many people overlook how useful it actually is. Modern research shows that red clover contains isoflavones, plant compounds with mild estrogen-like activity. These compounds help explain why red clover has been traditionally used for menopausal hot flashes and hormonal balance. Red clover was also used for chronic skin conditions such as eczema and psoriasis. Taken regularly over time, it was believed to support internal cleansing and reduce inflammatory skin flare-ups. The flowers themselves contain anti-inflammatory compounds and antioxidants. When brewed as a tea, they provide gentle, nourishing support rather than dramatic effects. Red clover grows everywhere, in lawns, meadows, and open fields. The flower heads are harvested from clean areas, dried, and used for tea or infused oil. This is not a fast remedy. It works best when taken consistently over weeks or months, allowing the body to gradually rebalance itself. Think of red clover as a quiet field ally, doing steady work beneath the surface. Part 19, Sassafras. Now we come to a plant with a complicated story. Sassafras was once one of the most valued medicinal trees in North America, trusted for fevers, pain, and inflammation. Native American tribes used sassafras root and bark for generations. When European settlers arrived, they quickly adopted it and exported sassafras back to Europe as a powerful new medicine. Sassafras became famous for treating fevers, rheumatic pain, and digestive complaints. Its warming, aromatic nature made it especially popular during illness and cold weather. The roots contain fragrant oils that stimulate circulation and promote sweating. For centuries, this made sassafras a classic fever remedy. But modern science added an important chapter to the story. Sassafras contains a compound called safrole. In large amounts and with long-term use, safrole has been shown to cause liver damage and increase cancer risk in animals. Because of this, internal use of sassafras has been restricted or banned in many countries. This does not erase its historical value, but it changes how we approach it today. Sassafras teaches an important lesson. Traditional knowledge tells us what plants were powerful. Modern research tells us how to use that power safely or when to step back. Think of sassafras as a reminder that natural does not always mean safe, and wisdom comes from balancing tradition with science. Part 20, Meadowsweet. We end this journey with a plant that quietly changed the history of medicine. Meadowsweet is the original source of inspiration for aspirin, one of the most widely used medicines in the world. Long before laboratories existed, people used meadowsweet for pain, fever, inflammation, and headaches. It grew near streams and wet meadows, offering relief where people least expected it. Meadowsweet contains natural salicylates, the same family of compounds that led scientists to develop aspirin. But unlike synthetic aspirin, meadowsweet comes packaged with soothing tannins and anti-inflammatory flavonoids. This combination made it gentler on the stomach. Traditional herbalists often chose meadowsweet for people who could not tolerate harsher pain relievers. It was used for joint pain, muscle aches, fevers, and digestive discomfort linked to inflammation. A warm cup of meadowsweet tea brought comfort without dulling the body's natural healing response. Meadowsweet grows tall with delicate white flowers that smell faintly sweet. The flowering tops are harvested, dried, and used as tea. As aspirin became purified and mass-produced, meadowsweet faded into the background. But the plant reminds us where modern medicine often begins. Think of meadowsweet as the bridge between ancient wisdom and modern science, quietly standing at the end of this story. If you've stayed with me until now, you've just traveled through centuries of forgotten healing knowledge, plants that once stood between people and illness long before pharmacies and prescriptions existed. What's striking is this: many of these remedies were not rare. They were not hidden. They were growing along roadsides, in fields, and near homes, quietly doing their work while the world moved on. This video is not about rejecting modern medicine. It's about remembering that healing has many layers, and nature has always been one of them. Some of these plants may already be growing near you, others might surprise you, and some may completely change how you think about health and self-care. I'm curious, which plant in this video surprised you the most? Or which one would you actually consider growing or learning more about? Leave it in the comments. I read them all, and your answers often shape what we explore next on this channel. Thank you for spending this time with me in the garden. Until next time, take care of yourself and stay curious.